With the Euro 2020 group stage done, it's time to take a look at who overperformed, who underperformed, and what's in store for the teams that were able to advance. So I'm just going to be going through each group, looking at what teams did right, what teams did wrong, and then of course I'll be predicting the knockout stages. So in Group A, Italy coasted through Group A, and honestly, they look like the second best team in this tournament, if not the best. 0 goals conceded, 7 scored. They have threats everywhere, both flanks, the fullbacks, the wingers, and of course, the standout performer of the tournament so far has to be Manuel Locatelli of Sassuolo. He's probably going to Juventus soon, and he just absolutely has been running the show for Italy. They look legit. Wales finished in second. They were able to do just enough to get by. There were a couple different X factors for Wales, and kind of the main one wasn't even any of their players. It was the fact that Turkey were so bad. And Wales were lucky to get that point against Switzerland, and that's really all they needed. It's almost the same story for Switzerland, who finished third. They do go through in one of the third place spots. They were lucky that Turkey sucked. All Switzerland had to do was not suck. And at these international tournaments, Switzerland just somehow always find a way. And then, of course, Turkey, bottom of the group, 0 points. What happened here? What happened here? They looked completely uninterested on offense. Their defense couldn't stop anybody. Their midfield couldn't create anything. They were garbage from top to bottom. A lot of people's dark horses for this tournament, including me. We'll get to that later in a different video. They let themselves down. They let everyone down. It was an absolutely abysmal performance from Turkey. So Wales will go on to face Denmark. Italy go on to face Austria. And Switzerland have to play first place of Group F, France. Starting off with Group B, Belgium cruised to victory in their group. They were relatively untested this entire time, but they do look like real contenders. Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard are firing on all cylinders. Romelu Lukaku can't stop scoring. And as long as their defense holds up, Belgium could actually be legitimate candidates to win this competition. For Denmark to finish second in this group is honestly incredible. After everything that they went through with Eriksen, they showed great character, great strength to be able to persevere through it. This team's certainly going to miss him going forward, but they certainly have enough threats to be, a dark horse, I guess you could say now. Also, let's not ignore the fact that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is one of the leading chance creators at this tournament, something that as a Tottenham fan, I didn't get to see a lot of in the Premier League. Finland were able to make life difficult in pretty much all their games for their opponents. They just didn't really have enough quality to go through. They were able to get the win against Denmark, but of course that kind of has an asterisk on it given the whole situation. Finland certainly tried their best and, got nothing bad to say about them. Now, Russia, on the other hand, I have a lot of bad to say about them. They looked absolutely terrible. Slow, lethargic, and tired. The fact that they got caught doping, pretty much all their players were on steroids, it had to have had an effect because when they got caught, they got banned from the World Cup that's coming up. They couldn't keep up with anyone except Finland, and that's not really saying that much. So something went wrong with Russia, and I think it has something to do with doping. As previously mentioned, Denmark will go on to play Wales, and then Belgium goes on to play Portugal. Arguably the most intriguing matchup of the round of 16. In Group C, the Netherlands looked pretty solid throughout, except for that Ukraine game where they blew that 2-goal lead, but they did have enough talent to overcome it, and I think they're kind of a feisty team who could really beat anyone on their day. They have a lot of good players, a solid enough defense. The whole team itself doesn't have a lot of match experience in a tournament like this, so it's going to be interesting to see how they can perform against the likes of Czech Republic in the knockout round, who are, a much more solid defensively speaking team, and they're definitely going to make life difficult for the Netherlands, but for the most part, they performed just about as I thought they would in Group C. Austria, I'm going to be honest, they surprised me when they beat Ukraine. I'm still not fully convinced of them, but they set up shop well enough on the defensive end to challenge any teams. They're going to make life hard for people, and you know what? Austria surprised me. I was wrong about them. Ukraine, I'll be honest, I thought it was a disappointing performance in the group stage for Ukraine. They have a ton of talented young players that can show flair and really exploit the wings for them, but they did not have a foundation, really, to keep the team afloat. For all the flair and the skill moves that you can put on, they had no solidity in midfield, really, and I think that really bit them in the end. Of course, they do move on in the third place game, but I expected more from this Ukraine side. North Macedonia, look, you tried your best. Goran Pandev scored a goal. Yay. Group D, England coasted essentially in this group. There were close games, but when you're in a group with Croatia, Czech Republic, and Scotland, that was always going to happen, in my opinion. I think the three opponents that they played really had to set up shop defensively speaking and just hope that they could counter England. England's defense looks really solid, although you could say it was pretty untested throughout their 3 games, and they have plenty of attacking options available. I think England could only get better throughout this tournament. Croatia, it's more of the same. The midfield carried them. They have an unimpressive attack, but it did enough just to get through. They're not capable of running deep in this tournament, I don't think. They don't have the firepower on offense, and I don't think they have the stability on defense to pose any type of threat to their opponents. The Czech Republic looked just okay. They can make life hard, but they're not a real threat in my opinion. Obviously, Schick scoring the goal of the tournament was a fun one, and he's capable of bagging a goal or 2 on his day, but for the most part, I don't like this Czech Republic team too much, but I've been wrong before. For Scotland, mainly they just couldn't get it going on offense. They had enough individual talent, but they really just never put it together. Defensively speaking, they were okay. Offensively speaking, they were just not much of a threat. For Group E, we had Sweden topping it, and this Sweden team is in a very good position. They drew Ukraine in the round of 16, and they could be the dark horse of the knockout rounds now. They know how to take advantage of other teams' weaknesses. They set up shop really nicely against Spain, and in the other 2 games, they handled their business. For Spain, that finishing, man. They finally got a go in at the end when it didn't matter, when they were whooping Slovakia 5-0, but are they going to be able to score goals when it counts? And the answer is no, because Alvaro Morata is apparently their go-to striker still, and that is just never going to be good enough. Spain are in trouble if they don't decide to put the ball in the back of the net every now and then. For Slovakia, they did well against Poland, but that's not really saying much considering how Poland performed. But they never really impressed Slovakia. Hamsich can barely move, and this Slovakia team outside of Skriniar just really isn't that impressive. For Poland, good lord, you have failed Robert Lewandowski yet again. The whole team, top to bottom, even Robert himself to a certain extent, but you can't really put that much blame on him when he's the only threat on that team. A shame. Poland go out in last place, and another wasted opportunity under Lewandowski. And then what was easily the most fun group in this Euros, and one of the more fun groups that we've had in a while in an international competition, Group F. France topped it. They're the best team in this tournament. They're the favorites to win this. Ignore the Hungary game. That was just Hungary digging their heels in and trying their best. France, from top to bottom, have the best roster in this competition. No weaknesses. This France team's the biggest threat to win it all. Germany, I don't understand how this Germany team got second place. I think this Germany team is genuinely awful. Their defense is atrocious. I'm fairly certain I could outrun Ginter and Mats Hummels in a race. They got carried by like Kai Havertz, which is fine. Kai Havertz is certainly a baller. But Germany will not be lasting in this tournament. Germany are bad. This is a bad and old Germany squad. For Portugal, I mean, their loss against Germany was very weird, 2 own goals. But listen, this Portugal team is legit. They can hang with anyone when Cristiano Ronaldo's firing. And that's not even to mention that Bruno Fernandes didn't really get it going in these group stage matchups. So if he does, Portugal are on another level. Then Hungary, I feel for Hungary. They deserve to go through. Germany don't. I understand Germany finished second, whatever. Put Hungary in that spot. That Germany team's bad. This Hungary team was fun. They fought to the end. Nothing but good things to say about Hungary. So we're going to go through and predict the knockouts here. I'm not going to react to my old knockout predictions. That'll be a different video. But for now, we're just going to, redo the predictions based on what we see here. So Belgium, Portugal, I'm going Portugal. This Belgium side went untested in the group stages. I don't trust their defense, and I do trust Portugal. Italy, Austria, I'll take Italy fairly simply. Same with France. They're going to whoop Switzerland probably. Croatia, Spain is a tough one. If Spain don't take their chances like they kind of haven't been in the group stage, Croatia could certainly make life difficult. They could hit one on the counter, but I don't trust them that much. I'll take Spain, maybe in like a 1-0, low-key affair. For Sweden, Ukraine, I'm going Sweden. I think that's a fairly easy prediction, actually. This Sweden team is legit, and they could make some noise in the next round as well. England, Germany, I don't like this Germany side at all. England has a lot of attacking talent, and they're not going to be able to handle the pace of England's flanks. And plus, Harry Kane will eventually get going, right? Oh boy. For the Netherlands, Czech Republic, I'll take the Netherlands. Czech Republic could certainly make life difficult here for them, but I think Memphis Depay has enough quality to carry this Holland side to victory if necessary. Wales, Denmark, I'll go Denmark here. I don't know how the Eriksen incident's going to continue to play on their minds. But even so, this is a better team than Wales. Even if Gareth Bale is at his best, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to carry him. Portugal and Italy, this one is tough. I originally had Portugal in the finals in my original predictions, but I am changing it. I'm going with Italy. I think this Italy side is legitimate this year. For France and Spain, this is, I mean, this is not even a question. It's France, easily. I don't think Spain can keep up with France's attack, bar none. England and Sweden, despite the fact that I think Sweden are set up really well against England, I think they match up fantastically against them. I think the England side has enough quality to get past it. And the Netherlands, Denmark, this is a weird one. I might as well go Denmark here. Just because I think Denmark's capable of making enough noise. I think they have a really nice draw against Wales and then the winner of Netherlands, Czech Republic. So either way, I think Denmark could be very nicely set up here to make the semifinals. We got Italy and France up top here. This matchup is a shame because these are the two best teams in the tournament, in my opinion. Italy could certainly cause France some issues, but I think that France diamond against the Italy back three is exactly why Deschamps plays the diamond. It's going to terrorize Italy too much. I'll take France here, but it's going to be a close game. It's really a shame that these two won't be able to meet in the finals. For England and Denmark, I'm going to go England here. I think, Denmark's little Cinderella story probably ends here. England defensively are really solid, and I don't see Denmark's attackers causing that much of an issue for the likes of Maguire and Stones. France and England in the finals, this isn't even a question for me. It's France. France have the best team in this tournament, easily, best players in the world. England may be able to compete, but it won't even matter. This France team is too good. They will overwhelm that English defense, which has been solid, to be fair. But Kylian Mbappe, Adrien Rabiot, Paul Pogba, Griezmann, whatever, Benzema, you name it. This France team is just too good. France are winning this tournament, and it doesn't really matter who they're playing in the finals. And that's it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know who you think is going to win the Euros, who's going to cause the big upsets. You know the drill. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to me on the channel. Follow me on Twitch. I stream 3 days a week. Football Manager. You know the drill. And next video, I'll probably be reacting to my 100% correct Euro 2020 predictions. Spoiler alert, they were only partially correct. Not really, kind of. All right, see you in the next video. Bye.